So, what is your overall analysis on Pakistani elections? Despite all efforts of rigging, Imran Khan came out as the winner. What is your overall analysis on the elections?
I guess you didn't read my statement that we put out on Friday,
Yeah,
where I spoke to our analysis
yeah,
analysis of this.
but now the results are.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me say that we congratulate the Pakistani people, first of all, for participating on the election on Thursday. That includes poll workers, civil society members, journalists, and election observers who have protected Pakistan's democratic and electoral institutions. We did express concerns publicly. We also expressed those concerns privately and joined the EU, the UK, and other countries in doing so with some irregularities that we saw in the process. We've conveyed the need for the Pakistani government to respect the will of the election. We emphasize, you heard us you heard me from this podium certainly repeatedly, but also across the government, emphasize that we wanted to see the rule of law, respect for Constitution, free press, vibrant civil society respected in the run-up to the election. We continue to believe that's the case. We condemn political and election-related violence and restrictions on internet and cell phone service. Those negatively impacted the electoral service. The claims of interference and fraud that we have seen raised, we want to ensure are fully investigated by Pakistan's legal system, and we will be continuing to monitor that in the days ahead.
So you said that you are ready to work with the new Pakistani government, but if this new Pakistani government came in with the allegations of fraud and irregularities, what is your opinion?
Well, I don't think there is a new Pakistani government yet. I believe there's still discussions going on about the formation of a government. But one of the things that we have said leading up to the election, and we'll continue to make clear, is that whoever the Pakistani people choose to represent them, we will work with that government. And as to the claims of fraud, we want to see those fully investigated. Yeah, go ahead.
I know you said there isn't a Pakistani government yet, but certainly former Prime Minister Khan's faction, some of the independents came in ahead. Is there any concern about the legitimacy of whoever actually becomes the leader of Pakistan?
I will say that let me just reiterate that we do think that the claims of fraud need to be fully investigated. That said, it was clearly a competitive election in which people were able to exercise their choice. Now, that said, there were irregularities. We want to see them investigated. But ultimately, we respect the democratic process, and we're ready to work with the government once it's formed.
And just one more on Pakistan. The authorities have had a ban on assembly. Some of Imran Khan's supporters have called for protests on this. Is there any concern about freedom of assembly right now in Pakistan?
Certainly, we want to see the freedom of assembly is respected anywhere in the world.